Hey, this is FlyLady Premium Mentor Emma here with day 12 of our baby steps. I can't believe we've got to day 12 already. I know I said yesterday in day 11, but it just seems to be going so quickly. The time is flying by, and as I've said before, I really hope it's making a difference. I remember when I did these for the first time, the sense of relief that I felt as I realised I didn't have to do everything in one kind of big go. I didn't have to be this perfect mother and housekeeper and wife. It was okay to not be perfect, and it was okay to do things a little bit at a time and just do the best that I could do. So I hope you're feeling some of that relief as well. Okay, so we've really kind of got our routines rocking now. They're really there, and they're kind of in place, and hopefully, although they're still kind of fledgling and you might be struggling a little bit to get everything in maybe, and that's fine because they're not habits yet, and they will get to be habits. So, but hopefully it's starting to just feel a little bit more comfortable, and maybe one or two things you're thinking, yeah, this is really for me, and I can manage this. Okay, so let's just go over what we've been doing just as a recap, because I think repetition with these things is the best way to really get that in there. So as always, the first thing on our morning routine is to get up and get dressed to your lace-up shoes, do your hair and your face. If you're not dressed to the shoes, hit pause, go away and do that, come back, I will still be here. Otherwise, let's carry on. So next thing on our list is to look at our post-it notes that we've got around to make sure that we're remembering what to do. Maybe get into the habit of grabbing your control journal as well and having a look at that. Recognising those negative voices, and sort of we talked a little bit about that yesterday as well, in coming up with some of those kind of positive quotes to reinforce and things like that. So take a look at those as well and remind yourself that you are worth it, and you are great as you are, and just little changes can give you back that little bit more of control. Then we need to put a hotspot out for 2 minutes, do a 5-minute room rescue, spend 15 minutes decluttering every day, and that's it for the morning routine. That's everything done. And then our before bed routine, we're keeping our sink shining. Remember 12 days ago we did that big shine, and hopefully you've been shining it every day just as a maintenance shine that only takes sort of 2 or 3 minutes maybe tops. So that's hopefully your sink is still kind of quite shiny and holding up under the daily pressures of everything that we do. Sinks are kind of high traffic area. Well, they are in our house anyhow. It gets used a lot, our sink. So and then putting a hotspot out is the next thing on our before bed routine, and maybe just before you go to bed, looking at your sticky notes to remind you what you need to do in the morning, and just take a look at your control journal again, just to really try and start to feel confident about what's in there. What we don't want you to do is try and do too much, try and run before you can walk, because you will crash and burn, and it will be overwhelming. It will be horrible. I remember trying to do everything and thinking, oh hey, I can do this, and going far too fast, and then not being able to do it, and beating myself up because I couldn't do it, and why couldn't I do it. And actually the reason I couldn't do it was because I wasn't taking the baby steps that I needed to make sure that these routines stuck. I was trying to rush on ahead and just do everything, because of course I am Wonder Woman and I can do everything, or in my head that's how I felt. Obviously I'm not Wonder Woman, I only wish I was. So today's task is to go delete all of those emails from FlyLady. If you've signed up for the emails, you'll probably have quite a few by now. You can delete those. They're always, you can find them online on the FlyLady page if you need them. All that stuff is there, but you can delete as and when you come, as you start to get the other emails through from FlyLady, then not just the beginner baby steps. You can delete those as you go as well. You don't have to keep that digital clutter. But the the one thing to remember is that digital clutter doesn't take up any space. Whenever I'm talking to anybody about things like paper clutter or maybe kids' drawings and things like that, my default go-to is take a picture of it. Take a picture of it, and then you can let the physical paper clutter go, and you've got that digitally. And that makes a big difference. You can just have a little folder there with, say, like Johnny's school pictures 2018, and just drop all those in there as you go. It's easy as, and they're not taking up any space, but actually you've always got them to look at, which is lots of fun. So you can use those sort of the magical tools we've got in modern technology to keep your clutter down and make your life a lot easier. But also you can delete that. You don't have to keep emails going back forever. You can delete them as you feel free, and that's a great thing too. That's a really really kind of useful thing. And as I always think with photographs, when I was a kid, you'd take photographs and you'd get them all printed out and they'd come back and half of them would suck. Well, actually now we can take 200 photographs, have a look at them, and just delete the ones that suck and keep the ones that are good. So it's that kind of remembering that digital clutter is not a bad thing. It doesn't take up space. I mean, I'm talking to you on a phone that's maybe 3 inches by 6 inches. I don't know, I'm not entirely sure how big it is, but you know what I mean. And that's got 256 gigabytes of storage, which is huge. So there's not that little tiny box could carry pictures of my children's artwork from the day they were born right up until probably the day they die, and still not run out of room. If they die at sort of 80, hopefully I won't be around by then, but anyhow, you know what I mean. So that's it for today. Think about that, just deleting emails. It's a great habit to get into. Just delete. I try and delete as I go, because then I don't end up with hundreds of emails that aren't important. I can keep the important stuff. But FlyLady is not precious at all about you keeping her emails. You can always go back onto the website and find things. You have a fantastic day, and I will be back tomorrow with day 13. Bye for now.